this edition we're going to be looking at shopping centres. We're going to look at retailing in Turkey, both the new and the old. And what can we learn from a library? I want to start this session in Ireland. This is the Beacon Hotel. And I often talk about daring to be different. This hotel on the southern suburbs of Dublin dares to be different. It's doing a different way. I just want to look around and show you pictures of the reception. They've taken props and they've taken theatre and they've put it together really to make the consumer go well. So if you're ever in Dublin, why not visit the Beacon Hotel? And what you'll see is how you can put some new merchandising ideas together, just doing different props. So welcome to this edition, and I hope you enjoy the next session going through various parts of the world.
The Beacon Hotel is what you call a boutique hotel. Behind the reception desk is a wall hanging that really focuses the eye and therefore directs people to that point in the reception area. Seating, well, they're white seats, but look at the way they've used this purple mirror to really create a focus and to put a bit of intimacy there. And this casual seating area with the leaf-shaped table really makes a point of difference. And you and I may think chandeliers are supposed to be hung from the ceiling, but this is a great idea. They brought the chandelier and used it as a floor fixture. When I was there, every evening the bar was full. So were all the other areas of the reception. It wasn't just the guests. This had become a community bar as well as a hotel. As I said, it's well worth looking at the Beacon Hotel in Dublin, just to look at the way you can put some of these crazy ideas together.
I'm always looking for more positive signs that help communicate with the consumer. And in this Irish Garden Centre, there's a lovely sign here that really gets the message across. It's on a blackboard, so it's handwritten, and it really gives that personal touch. Have a look at your signage, see if you can create the same sort of messages that this sign is carrying.
Istanbul, a city that is half in Europe and half in Asia, a city with some of the oldest retail techniques in the world and some of the most modern retailing ideas in the world. So let's take a look at what we can learn from Istanbul.
Walking the streets of Istanbul is fascinating. There's one guarantee: you'll get lost. They've got these narrow avenues that you can walk through. Some interesting things about walking through Istanbul. First of all, make sure you've got clean shoes. They've got an obsession about clean shoes. And probably one of the most common street retailers is these people cleaning shoes for you. And they'll hassle you if you've got dirty shoes, I can assure you. One thing that fascinates me, we often think about and worry about shrinkage. Here we've got a population of 20 million people, the second largest city in Europe. And look at the way they retail. They put lots of product on the street. Yet they don't seem to worry about people stealing stuff from the street. And I think so often we get too obsessed about the shrinkage that we forget to create the experience. Yes, you've got to get the balance right. One thing that comes across in Turkey is they get the balance right. They allow the retailing to flow onto the street to help build the experience. There's surely somebody watching to make sure you don't steal, but it's an interesting phenomena from that point of view. If you come to Istanbul and you're interested in retailing, you have to go to two locations. One is the Grand Bazaar, the world's oldest shopping centre. This was built in 1455. It has 18 entrances into this large building that has 4,000 shops. They know how to create the theatre and the ambience just by looking at the way they created this architecture, so you know you're in an Eastern market. At the same time, down the road is the spice market, or the Egyptian spice market, and that was built in 1664. So you've got these two very old markets located next to each other. Now when you go to the Grand Bazaar, there is a shop called Boybi. Boybi is a jewellery shop, probably in the oldest building in retailing. This was built as a tower with a copper roof in 1785 and has been retailing for most of that period, probably a short time when it was a police station. But what can you learn from the markets? I think number one is they know how to create the experience. The smells are glorious. The atmosphere with the music and the ambience really creates that real bizarre shopping experience. They can take food and they can add value to it. And a lovely example is what they do with the pomegranate. And also don't forget that if you start looking at this added value stuff, how the displays are put together. This is retailing that's gone back hundreds of years, but they still understand that that pyramidal power display sells more product. They understand if you put colour combinations together in the right way, it catches the eye. These people have looked at retailing for hundreds and hundreds of years. They've passed through from family to family. And they understand some of the basic principles of retailing, how to create that wonderful experience. So if you get the chance, you have to go to the Grand Bazaar and the Egyptian spice market. But remember, you're fairly guaranteed that you're going to get lost. You've just got to go and enjoy that experience. Sooner or later, you're going to see one of those 18 entrances or escape routes. But just go and enjoy the ambience and then take some of those lessons and bring it back into your own retail establishment. It's really about the theatre. The Grand Bazaar does the theatre exceptionally well. Istanbul is the second largest city in Europe after Moscow. So you've got almost 20 million people in this city. It's also got Europe's largest shopping centre. And Forum Istanbul is that particular shopping centre. Three interesting developments walking around that shopping centre. One is their point of difference includes an aquarium, but the one that really caught my eye was Magic Ice. Magic Ice is a Norwegian-based company. They made the Ice Hotel in Norway. What they've created is this ice sculptor area. Now people can get involved with the ice sculptures and can actually make ice sculptures. And then they've put a shop on it as well. What really caught my eye here was the fact that it was the Dare to be different. Even their Magic Ice folder actually says be different, and it provides a range of ice sculptures that can be used and sold to corporate hotels, businesses, etc. So this has really caught the attention because it's that point of difference as far as the Forum is concerned. Then you go and look at their eating area, and they've got microwaves where people can heat up baby food. Again, something you don't normally see in a shopping centre. While I was at the Forum, it was Shopping Fest. This was the national celebration of shopping. It was on for 40 days and 40 nights. What this shopping centre did was create 40 different experiences for consumers. They could go diving with sharks, they could go bungee jumping, learn how to fly a plane. They had 40 unusual experiences. And customers that shopped in the Forum got loyalty points. And the more loyalty points they got, they went into a competition to get one of these 40 experiences. A great point of difference. There's a lot to be learned from this shopping centre. Not only is it Europe's largest shopping centre, but it's also got some innovative ideas that can help any retailer. The Canyon Shopping Centre gets its name because it's been designed architecturally like a canyon. You've got shops on two walls going down into an architectural valley. During the winter, this valley has blinds up it so people are in a protected shopping environment. But in the summer, these blinds come up, so it's very much an open plan shopping centre. But the interesting thing for me was to look at a number of issues. One is to go and look at the supermarket. And Macro Centro is a brilliant supermarket, and the way they display fruit and veg shows how professionally it can be done. This centre focuses on each target group, but I was really impressed with the way they looked at children. They have a children's area. In that area there are virtual walls, something you don't often see in a shopping experience, and coloured graphics on the floor that changed as you walked over the floor. The other thing that has point of difference is the Virgin Radio partnership. This is a shopping centre that has its own radio station. Now, I'm often talking about we need to create our own TV stations and our own radio stations. Canyon has actually done that. They've gone into partnership with Virgin to create their own radio station. So customers can select the music they want to see and hear played, and then the stores can actually advertise between that music. It's great at bringing the community together, something that's very strong in retailing at present, and the research is saying, how do we bring communities together? And Canyon Radio is one way of doing that. The other thing that's interesting is you go to the cinema, and the cinema has self-check-in cinema tickets. So again, we're often seeing self-check-in in airports, in banks, in supermarkets. It's now occurring in the cinema. So Canyon, open about 3 years, but got some interesting developments that we could all look at and develop in our own shopping experiences. During this month, I've had an opportunity to look at shopping centres. I'm in Turkey because of the European Shopping Centre Conference. But I've also been looking at shopping centres in Ireland. We often hear about the decline in retailing in certain parts of the world, and shopping centres are finding it difficult. I think the important thing is it's more than just a retail place. It's about community. It's about the educational value, the entertainment value, and providing the right experience for the consumer. A shopping centre is like any other retail establishment. If we think it's just about product, we may end up with a dead shopping centre or a dead shop. Now it's about the community and how do we increase value. There's 3 key messages that are coming across in all retail research at present. One is integrating social media with traditional marketing techniques. Secondly, it's improving customer service, so you provide that wow factor. And thirdly is networking and building your shop as part of your network of community from that point of view. Forget those 3 critical issues and you may end up with a dead shopping centre.
A lot of my consultancy and workshops are based on libraries and looking at the marketing and retailing within a library. It's something we've been doing now for over 10 years. Libraries are fascinating because some of the technology applies to libraries as well as it does to retailing. In a library you need to have fine designed categories. You need a youth department, a children's department. You need a newspaper department where men can read. It's about creating space for different types of consumers within a community. It pleases everybody. It's a real challenge. So the library has to look at signage, has to look at displays. Are they topical? A good library has a high stock turn of books, and a large percentage of the consumers are using the library.
Retail 2020.
What can we learn
that's
from
just been
libraries?
produced by
We can learn about
Jones
clear
Land
definition
LaSalle.
of categories.
You can get it off the webpage.
Libraries
It's
that
well
got
worth
children's
looking at.
department right,
It looks at the
youth
trends in
department
retailing.
right, men's
One of the trends I just want to focus on now is
libraries are highly
price.
successful.
Price is
It
becoming
really is
more
about
and more
category
important.
definition.
Take a
The
look at
consumer
this
needs to
sign,
walk into
which
the
is from
library and see the
Tesco's in
clear
Ireland.
signage.
Look
They
at the
know
way
where to go.
price is
Exactly
becoming
the same
a
as
major
before.
driver in the retail
Customer service
space.
is also
What does that mean? It means that if you're a commodity retailer, you've got to play the price game.
Seller. So
If you're a lifestyle or small retailer, you need to be aware of the prices. You need to have a premium and value range. You can't always win the game just on price. How can you differentiate yourself? You may be able to differentiate yourself through price. There's a lovely book out called Priceless, which I've reviewed in our newsletter. It's well worth reading. It looks at the differences we can make in the price war that is not going to go away. hope you enjoyed this edition. We've looked at some of the oldest retailing you could come across in Turkey, plus some of the most leading edge experiences in shopping centres. So I hope it's provided you with some ideas to help you in your business. Next month we'll look at some ideas in the USA. At the same time we're going to go back into Australia and look at some Australian techniques. And off to Indonesia to see some techniques of more traditional retailing in that part of the world. So I look forward to speaking to you again next month, and have a good retailing month.